I'm the only person with my camera. Mr. Sean, you're going to have to put your camera on because you're an applicant, but the others is voluntary. But
Here you go.
thank you, George. I got company. I got company. I got Mr. Sean. All right.
You got company
I forgot to put
now.
it on.
Yes, that's
I'm
okay.
too busy. Yeah.
All right, Cara, you ready?
I started recording.
Okay, good night, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7:38. And this time we'll have our roll call. And I'm actually going to physically do a roll call. If you're present, you say present. June Passat, present. Adele Bennett. George Tate.
Present.
Margarita Vigilante.
Present.
Bria DeCasta. Shana Evans. Sonia Clark. Sonia, I know you're here.
That's good.
That's okay. Frederick Watson. Ruby Harry Singh. Celia Belling. Alexander Stewart. Alison French Kenton. She's a new member. She asked to join. And Cheryl Sanders. So we have 4 present, which means we do not have a quorum of 13 members. We have 13 members now on the committee. So we are growing a little, which is good. The next item on the agenda is Chairperson's report. Happy holidays to everyone and their family.
After she finished, I can go do my
Detective Skinner will not be on the call tonight because it's the precinct holiday party, so they inform me by emails. Tonight we have 3 applications to process. Well, may just be 1 at this present time. Also, I would like to focus on the establishments that are not in compliance to see what can be done. I want to continue discussion about the planning events for next year, our networking breakfast and our sumptuous sample. I tried to get 2, I was kind of holding off on guest speakers due to the fact that, you know, we've only had the most 5 people on the call, and I kind of didn't want to invite a guest speaker to just speak to, so I wanted to build a committee first. So maybe next year, but I also try to get 2 people, like the community liaison for the mayor's office, you know, just to be on the call, but he couldn't make it tonight. So that ends my report. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes, which we cannot do due to lack of quorum. Then we'll move on to item number 5. This is going to be a short meeting tonight.
sorry.
Yeah. New business liquor license. The first applicant on the agenda is Legacy Launch. Let me get your application, sir. Okay, for those who were on the call, I think was last month. This applicant came before the committee and I asked him to resubmit his application because he had some deficiency. I asked him to resubmit his 30-day notice because there was some deficiency on the 30-day notice. There still is a couple, and I'm just going to point it out. Do you have a copy of your application in front of you, Mr. Sean?
One second.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. I don't at the moment.
Okay, so item number 16, and I'm going to read the question for you. It says, list the floor of the building that the establishment is located on. You put 2 floors. The correct answer would be first, either ground floor, first floor, ground floor, second floor, or first floor, second floor. All right.
Okay.
Item number 17, list the room number which the establishment is located within the building if appropriate. You put 6 rooms. Obviously, I don't know what was the reason for that answer, but I don't think you have rooms. It's only there's some.
Two bathrooms on the first
No,
floor.
no, that's not what they meant.
That's what you were talking
No,
about.
not me. This is an app. This is a 30-day notice that's sent by the SLA. Okay.
Okay.
So this so some applicants are actually located in rooms. So remember, it says if it's applicable to you. This is a general form. Some things are applicable to you, some are not. So if it's not, you put NA. Okay. Right, but you put 6 rooms. And the last one, number 19, will the license holder or the manager be physically present within the establishment during the hours of operation? You did not answer that question. That's a very important question because the last month you put, I think, yes, and this month you just left it blank.
Oh, that was a mistake on my end. I apologize.
I understand. Unfortunately, I'm not the one judging this. The SLA is the one that's doing that. So
Okay.
with all of that said, I am going to list the Legacy Lounge located at 1308 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11203. He's applying, it's a new applicant. He's applying for is that a full liquor license? Yeah,
Yes.
full liquor license. There also was some issue about the bar, correct?
Yes, and you said it's 2 bars, so I said I would go ahead and do the thing and apply for it.
You better, because there's no other way you
Yeah.
could have gotten the license. Okay, good. Just make sure we clear, because I did not feel very comfortable in the fact you're going to tell me that, because I know that location.
Right.
There's a bar on the first floor, there's a bar on the second floor. And under no circumstances you're going to tell me that your bartenders or your waitress going to walk all the way downstairs to take drinks upstairs to the first floor. That I would not believe. Okay, just so you know. All right. So with that clear, I'm going to open. Unless you want to tell us a little bit more about the location for the people who were not on the call last month.
What would they like to know?
Not me, the members who were not on the call last month, I'm sure. Or would you want me to open the floor for questions? Anyone has
Sure.
any questions for Mr. Sean?
This
Yes.
is George Tate. I was not
Yes,
on the call. No, I don't have a question because I was just going to let the chairperson know that I was not on the call because I was at the funeral.
Okay.
But I am familiar with the
Location.
with the location from past, requests from the other business that was here before, and I also read the minutes, so I was kind of updating myself. So I really don't have any new questions regarding the establishment.
That's quite fair. I think someone else indicated a
Yes.
question.
That
Go
was
right
me, sir. I was also absent last month. My apologies for that.
Don't let it happen again. Just kidding. Sorry, Swansea.
Don't hold me to that.
I wouldn't.
Yes, sir. So, just a quick question, and
sure.
have come up at the last meeting, but there any police report, Madam Chair?
Oh, my apologies. There's no incident, even if there were a police report, because it's a new applicant, it's
New
not
applicant.
right. But there's no incident because I think the place was closed for the last 2 years. Am I correct, Mr.
Okay.
Sean?
You're correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, well, my only comment would be, since it's a new applicant, that you just bear in mind that you are within the community and you would want to make sure that you steer clear of any, incidents, so that and that you don't have the community complaining about noise or anything like that. But
I wouldn't. Yeah, I
welcome-
would never I wouldn't want to do that to anybody. So.
Right. We always welcome new business in the community once they're, appreciate that there are people, residents who live in the community as well. So,
Okay, and also something I want to enforce to you, Mr. Sean, I'm not sure who's doing your paperwork for you, but before you went out, before the previous location went out of business, there's 2 new liquor license establishment, which puts you in a 500-foot within 3 or more establishment.
Right.
Which means, what that means is that you have to prove to the SLA what makes you different, or what do you bring to the table, so that it would give you the license.
I
So
got
just something for your thought, okay? Before
Okay.
there weren't those other tools, there were just 1. So that's something you have to think about, okay?
Okay.
Also, please tell you, 1 second, George. Please tell your landlord to take off that old sign that is just hanging, teared. It looks very bad in the community.
Okay.
The rack top sign is, I think, is
Yeah,
torn
it's all
from the
ripped up.
weather.
Yeah,
It's all ripped up. Tell him just take it down. It looks really tacky.
no problem.
But proceed, George.
Yeah, Madam Chair. Yes, I did. I do remember. I did have a question because Mr. Is it Mr. Maiton?
Yes, sir.
So you have Shaitan, yes. You did mention that there was going to be a lounge. Or,
Yes.
Okay, so what do you mean? Is it going to be like a restaurant? You're going to be cooking there, or?
Yeah, it does have a kitchen there, but it's not going to be like a full restaurant. They're going to serve like finger food, chicken wings and stuff like that, nachos. It's not like full-fledged rice and all that stuff, no. French fries, chicken wings.
Okay, and then you did mention it's not going to be not like an event space. It's just for
No.
people that come in here and lounge around. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's not going to be a dance hall.
Yeah. Okay.
But you are going to have private events, correct? Like when I say private, like someone's going to come rent the space upstairs for a birthday party.
No, because that's problems. I'm trying to stay away from renting to outside. Whatever business I'm going to do, it's going to be between me, not to get, because once you bring people inside of your place, they don't respect the process that I had to go through.
Okay. Oh, so you're gonna your clientele is gonna come through, is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
So it's not like you rent it out to somebody. They're not going to respect your place the way how you would.
Well, the fact that you have a lounge, that's what most lounge do. But anyway,
Right.
that's even better.
So
I do have a question. Oh, go ahead. Finish, George. Go ahead.
yeah. So if let's say if I have a group, like say 20 people that wants to have a meeting over there, they will have to contact you, and basically everything comes through you. You are
Right.
responsible for everything.
Right.
Okay. Thank
Go
you.
ahead, Miss Margarita.
Do you have a yard, a backyard?
There is a yard, yes.
But are you going to be using it?
No, because it's the neighbors are in the back. So if
Yeah. Right.
if you do that, then you're going to violate the neighbors.
Great.
So
I'm glad that you said that.
Yeah, because Miss
Because
Margarita lives
I live on
behind.
East 49th Street. Live right off of Utica, so I know what happens. I don't live
Right.
behind you. I don't live behind you, but I only live a block away, so I know what the neighbors go through. So I'm really
Understood.
happy to hear that you're not going to be opening the backyard.
No.
Great.
Welcome, Bree. Do you have a question for this applicant?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
8 o'clock.
I was asking you if you had any questions for Mr. Sean.
No questions from me.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Sean, you are aware of the meeting tomorrow night, is that correct?
I am aware of it.
And you have to be present because that's when the complete board, the full board, we are just a committee, the Commerce Committee. This is the
Okay.
first step. The full board will vote, and their decision, depending on what the vote is, to give a recommendation to the SLA, which is the State Legal Authority.
Okay.
We will send a letter depending on the vote, of course, if it's, a yes vote, and will be sent off to the SLA. it will be stated that you will be applying for two, well, it's usually called a stand-up bar and an additional bar. That will be stated in the letter.
Okay,
If you do anything different, then you will not be in compliance.
right.
And I'm warning you because compliance is very important. That location has had a bad reputation for the last 2 years or prior. So the police have that location on their radar. Just giving you a little heads up.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away from that environment where, because as I say, a lounge, you make the space much nicer for people. It's not a dance hall.
A lot of people say that until they get the license, and then things change, right, guys?
I don't like trouble. I don't like trouble.
All right. Oh, shucks. Sorry, guys, my paper fell. So like we said earlier, we cannot vote because we don't have quorum here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in attendance. So we can't vote to make a recommendation to the full board, but the full board will do that. Okay?
Okay.
Mr. Sean, you're free to come off the call if you wish. You're free to stay on if you want. But your responsibility has been fulfilled. We'll see you
Okay.
tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow night.
No problem. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a pleasant evening.
Excuse me, Mr.
Sure.
Sean,
Yes.
I just sent you the information for the general board meeting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Have
Okay.
a good night.
Have a good night.
And
Yes.
I'll see you
Good
tomorrow.
night.
Good night.
Okay, guys. Thought we would have had 2 other applicants, but we don't. So I want to talk a little bit about our networking breakfast, if that's okay with anyone. We did schedule that we might do it in March or April, but I'm leaning towards April. Carol, if that's okay with you, maybe or as the new year starts, if we could start working on a flyer, because I want to also start reaching out to the agency. The agencies that I have in mind are Department of Health, the Police Department, Department of Buildings, and probably the SBA, Small Business, or if there's any suggestion, I'm open to some suggestions as to other agencies that we would like to be present. I'm going to open the floor up if anyone has any suggestion. And for the benefit of those who were not on the call before, this will be held at Woody's Bar, which is on Clarkson Avenue. The exact location is Woody's, sorry. It's 1133-35. It's a new establishment, very nice, big, clean, and everything. It is in CB 17, and he offered his location. I'm also gonna request to the board, for those who are board members, the note for us to get some monetary. I think we have discretionary funding for any events that we may want to do to pay for the food. All right. I'm hoping to have about 50 people, to make sure they arrive. Sonia, you want to say something? Ms. Clark?
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry. No, my phone went off. No, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I
Yeah,
have a
so
question, Ms. June. This is Bree
Sure.
DaCosta. So is this going to be geared towards business owners that are currently functioning in the community board, or is this for new, potential business owners? How are we doing the outreach? Is it just going to be through
Well,
social media and flyers?
it's geared for both. That's why we're having those agencies or any other agencies that we think will be an asset to, getting information out there. Yes, we are going to be distributing flyers. Flyers will be sent to the existing businesses or social media as well too.
Mhm.
You know, due to the fact that it's during the day, it limits, you know, some people from coming because some people do work. But unfortunately, it's a breakfast, so it, you know, has to be during the morning.
My next
Madam
question
Chair?
would be, oh, sorry, go ahead, Mr.
No,
Tate.
no, no,
I
go
can
ahead,
ask it.
go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ms. Bree, finish, and then we'll talk to George. We have a lot of
My
time, so
next-
take it down.
Okay. My next question is, will there be anybody, you know, from the community board or someone who can speak to the advantage to opening a business or running a business in the community board, just so, you know, people who are maybe considering opening in other areas might be more compelled to consider this area versus others? Like, is there going to be somebody who can speak to, you know, the thriving community and why it would be a good idea to consider this community?
Yes, the small business would be able to speak to that. The SBA would be able to speak to that. They would talk about, we will tell the agency what topics we want them to talk about. You know, SBA is very good at helping people to get started. So that would be that's why I actually thought about that agency to geared to the people who are wanted to start a business. And then the Department of Health and Department of Buildings as well, they can also gear to new people trying to help them to get started. But they also can address issues that the existing business have.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. George, proceed.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
George.
no,
Go ahead, George. Go ahead.
I mean, my question was going to be, what's the cross street? But while I was waiting, I Googled it. So, you know,
Okay,
like, yeah, thank
yeah, I
you.
think was it closer to Rockaway, and what's the next block? I forgot.
Say up East 98th Street. somewhere
Okay,
around.
correct.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Sonia or Ms.
Yes,
Clark.
I was just asking about the actual event.
Mhm.
The location, I may not have been there before, so I assume this is an in-person event, one. The second is in terms of how many people it hold and any consideration for social distancing. This is what month? January or March?
Yes.
January?
No, this is in we're doing it in April.
In
So to
April.
ans- yeah.
Oh, okay, in April. Because I was just concerned about, you know, we will still be kind of in the flu season and the
Mhm.
going, you know, so I was just wondering if you will be in person and if there will be any accommodation for, say, a speaker who may not be able to be present, but would there be a streaming portion that you can have people who may still be a little hesitant about being in person, but can still participate?
So the location is it's huge. It's two storefronts together. It holds, I think, 100 and something. I'm not sure the exact amount, but I know it's over 100. So there will be enough rooms for social distancing. This is why I said I'm gearing for 50 and not 100. I mean, I want to be realistic because I'm not
Okay.
going to get 100 people, you know, during the day. Also budget wise, you know, to feed 100 people, we're talking a lot of money as well. So that's what, you know, I'm thinking about. I did not or want to entertain the fact of this, unless a speaker says, well, look, we can't make it, but we want to be virtual. Then we're talking about technology, setting up to have a virtual, you know, presenter,
Okay.
what have you. But I did not entertain that conversation. It's something to think about. You know, I'm very open to these entertainment, but first I want to set out the notice and see if anyone says, well, look, we can't come because, you know, we don't want to be there for COVID, then we can entertain that fact. But we're trying to make it an in-person breakfast.
Okay.
If I may, I just noticed our chair joined us. Welcome, Chair Daly. Would you like to bring us greetings? I think you muted.
Good afternoon, everyone, and good evening, actually. So I just want to get an opportunity to try to get to all of the committee meetings that I can get to. So I thank you, Chair Prasad, for taking a mantle and leading the group. I understand one of the Commerce Committee is very important in terms of when we look at businesses within our district, what that should comprise. What our districts should comprise of and the likes. So I do appreciate the opportunity to have Chair Prasad at the helm to lead that direction, because the business is become very vital in terms of jobs, in terms of upkeep within our community. I do hear I am overhearing the conversation about the breakfast. I think that's something that breakfast and the like that let the businesses shine should be something that the community should the committee should focus on and ensure that something like that were to happen. So and I thank you again. Looking forward to tomorrow, everybody. There is the general board meeting. So for all the committees, if you're not able to become part of the committees, is an opportunity for you to participate at the general board to hear what else is going on, what the community and the board is doing as well. There are a lot of things that we're working on as a board. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm proud to announce that we have 13 members in the Commerce Committee at this time, not on the call, but 13 members compared to our 5 when we first started. So going back to the discussion on the breakfast, Mr. Chair, you plan on, I mean, I could talk to you offline about that. Carol, did you get the agency I talked about, Department of Health, DOB, 67 Precinct, and Small Business? Carol?
I'm here.
Okay, so you got that. Okay, so those are the ones that we'll want to start sending letters to in January. I'm going to let you know what date I've decided so we could, it has to be on a Tuesday because the location is closed on a Monday. So we could start putting the letters together. If you want, you could start putting the letters. So we could always add in the date. I have the location and the time is 9:30 to 1 o'clock. I say 9:30, so I know by 10 people get there. So, 3-hour breakfast. And Mr. Chair, how do we proceed to get money for such an event like the breakfast for food? Do we have to do a request to the board?
So the board has limited capital.
Okay.
Very limited capital, and I think we were given about $5,000 in discretionary funds, and I know some of it has been used up. So committees back in September should have made a request, and I know there was issues with this committee, among others, in terms of quorum and the ask and the need. I think we could start with District Manager Frazier to find out how much is the allocation, but I think the focus on donations from local businesses, local organizations, depending on what they are, and some of our electeds who are more than willing to provide certain things towards the breakfast, such as like coffee, donuts, and the like. So you could start at both levels. Our elected, 3 levels. Our elected officials, 1. I think there are 11 or 12 of them. We have the community board to see if there are any capital there to be used. And lastly, for in-kind donations from other businesses within our community.
Okay, so you're saying you're going to check to see, I mean, because we're looking like maybe $300, not more than that.
When is your proposed date?
April, the first week in April. I haven't decided on the exact date, so I would say within the first week. If not, we have to do, because what happened is the location was going to prepare the breakfast. Since he's giving the place, to us for free, we're going to use his facility for him to, prepare whatever it is he needs to prepare instead of having.
What location is this?
It's called Woody's, located on Clarkson Avenue.
Okay, so, and you said about $300?
But I think so for 50 people breakfast, that should be
All right, so let's find out how much that is and what that looks like, and then we could follow.
okay. Okay, sounds
Sounds
like a
better?
plan.
Okay,
I have a question.
Sure.
to me or
Is-
to the chair of the
well,
board?
Maybe to both of you, but maybe you directly, Mr. Chair, because I don't know just curious about the policy in terms of committees raising funds. Is it, can committees within the community board raise their own funds for their own activities? Or is that against the rules and regulations of the community board?
All right, so the 2 points to that, right?
Mhm.
The first one is, no, there's no objection to you raising funds, just have to find a place to put the funds. Right, so that's A. We do have, however, we're trying to get it more than up and started, but we have some issues with the Friends of Community Boards 17. That is the 501c3 wing
Right.
that
Mhm.
donations can go to, the 501c3 and the not-for-profit
Right.
status. However, we have some issues with that. There have been in the past committees that have an account, right?
Right.
And it's established to put money in. So that's the second way to do it. But there are no objections to a committee raising
Okay.
money. Obviously, all you have to do is keep track of the money. But at this moment, there's no way for it to be tax exempt
Right.
because we do not have a channel in which
Right.
to give it for it to be tax exempt.
Okay. Because
But you can raise money. Is the
Okay.
answer. The answer to your question is yes,
Okay.
you can.
Okay, because if we're saying that we can, and I hear you about a 501c3, because yes, you can have a 501c3 organization affiliated with say the Commerce Committee or whatever, but I gather what I'm hearing is that this particular organization, Friends of Community Board 17, there's some breakdown with that organization, if I'm hearing correctly, because in as much as we are looking to get $300 for the breakfast in April, certainly there are a lot more events that the Commerce Committee can do for the community that will need funding but if we can raise our own funds through different resources, like having different fundraising events. But you are correct, we would have to make sure that we funnel that money appropriately and make sure that it's tracked appropriately. That would be my biggest concern.
You're muted, Rudy.
Yeah, yes, that's 100% correct, right? The ability to track it and the ability to raise it.
Mhm.
So those two components are vital in terms of what we need to do as a committee, but we are really working hard to get the 501c3 up and running. I don't know if that's going to be feasible, or we might have to start a whole new one, but we'll see.
Okay.
So if I may interject a little bit, I'm happy that you raised that point, Sonia, because I was not under the impression that a committee can raise funds. I know usually the committees get donation, and that donation is channeled, well, if we did have the active 501c3. I know the 501c3 because the 501 Friends of Community Board 17 is an affiliated organization of the community board, and funds can be raised through the 501c3. I didn't know that we can raise funds through the committee.
If we're gonna raise funds to the committee, then we're gonna have to have a treasurer, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I that's not something I want to entertain, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because accountability of where the funds are and things like that. I mean, if we get donations, then the donations can be channeled into the bank account. if there is, or I would prefer not to get monetary contribution and just get, what is food and, whatever it is that we needed instead of money, because then that's a whole new ball game of keeping track of where this money is and when we need to use it.
But I think we are, and I am just throwing this out there, but I think
Go ahead.
we are limiting ourselves, especially because I always felt that and I've been on the Commerce Committee for quite some time, and there's a lot that we can do than just the few things that we've been doing. But I think to the next level is that if we can have fundraisers that we can, have money to utilize for certain things based on the decision of the committee. And I don't think that we need to worry too much about, handling the money, because certainly it's easy to track if you have, as Marguerite was suggesting, have a treasurer. Because if you have 13 members on the committee, certainly you can have 2 or 3 people who can manage that fund and make a report every month or what the case may be. Because I think running away from that is limiting ourselves as to what we can do as a committee.
Well, it's not, Sonia, it's not about running away from it. It's that we created, the community board created the 501c3 so
Correct.
we could get discretionary funds from our elected officials to do these things. And as the chair just said, we were given $5,000, whether it's for last year or what. I didn't know that we had to put in that request in September. I was told that we could have put it in, but we didn't have a quorum. So we had just started. I was the new chair. I still think we can put it in because there's still some kind of funding there, because I think it's only maybe 1 or 2 committee that actually got money from there. And then the community board plan on doing fundraisers through the 501c3 to sublet to these different committees, so if they want to do different things. So I don't see why we have to, as a Commerce Committee, raise funds separately if we're going to be getting money through those other channels. Just my thought. Isn't that correct, Mr. Chair, that that's what the 501c3 will be doing when it gets on its feet?
Yes, I mean, I was just answering Ms. Clark's question of whether or not you can raise money, because I know that with other committees, we do actually raise money, right? And I do agree with you, the tracking of the money is a problem, right? It's going to be a problem because it's going to be in somebody's head to go to the bank, set up the account. I understand the difficulties, and so if the 501c3 becomes more active, everything can just go through there, and it can be ledgered to reflect which committee whether it is for the general board and general board's usage. So that's actually the easiest route to do.
Oh yeah, I wasn't thinking about doing anything separate from what was already established. Respect to this Friends of Community Board 70. Oh no, not at all. I was just saying that we can certainly, raise funds and channel it through this same organization, this same 501c3 once, it is cleaned up or whatever it needs to happen with it. That was my.
Okay. Good point. I think. I will put you in charge to be the chair of the fundraising committee. So,
so much for making a suggestion.
I know, right? that was a little joke, inside joke.
I know.
Okay with you. Yeah,
I know. That's okay.
Yes. So, I mean, again, the idea is great. Right now we're trying to even get people to come to meetings. Much as when you start putting things like fundraisers out in the back of their head, they might not come back to meetings at all. You know what I mean? But I mean, I understand where you're coming from. You need money to do a lot of things, to be honest. But maybe we can start small. We could start maybe with a raffle. But just so you know, I'm also the chair of the 501c3, so I will be gauged on doing fundraisers there for the whole community board, for all the different committees. So to add another, to do just one for the Commerce Committee would be a bit challenging for me, and I'm being quite honest. Right, Mr. Daly?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'm on a different screen at the same time, so sorry about that. Pausing the mute. Yes, that's actually correct.
Okay.
There are other committees that need money too as well.
Yep, yeah. All right, so we're gonna move right along.
Well,
Oh, sorry, George?
yes, I would say in the meantime, one suggestion would be that if we could ask for specific items and that the politicians or whoever is going to donate the items, spend your own money. Like for instance, if we need water, we could ask them if they could provide the water, buy the water for us, or whatever items we need. We could ask them if they're willing to pay directly for that item. You know, this way the money doesn't come through the committee and cause any unnecessary questioning or anything like that. You
That's,
follow me?
yeah, that's quite okay. You know, I'm good at begging, right, George? That's not a problem. I just thought that I thought that there was funds available for, that's what I was told. So that's why I wanted to, you know, because I think the Parks and Parks and Beautification just got some, you know, funding. So I thought maybe we only fair that the Commerce Committee gets something. But if it's not available,
Yeah.
that's fine. We'll just I will take alternative route. I'm very good at begging, and I you know, I have a pretty decent relationship with some of the businesses. So when I reach out to them, I just didn't want to actually bring in food from another business to this guy's location. I wanted to give him, you know, only fair we offer his place for free. Wanted to give him the business of catering whatever little breakfast we are doing. So we'll see as time gets closer how we can approach that. All right. I'd like to move on to the there's a little discussion about the sumptuous sample. We do have a location that will be held in June at J-Loft. I'm thinking it's usually the week of the last week of June, or in the 20s. I don't have the exact date right now, and it may be on April, May, June. Yeah, it's usually the week, I think around the 19th. I'm not quite sure. I just have to confirm it with the owner of the establishment. And again, we're quite familiar how that works. We get the businesses to donate, you know, food. They come there and, you know, things like that. But that's actually scheduled for June. So we want to start by next year, early next year, Carol, to start working on the flyer. I like to do things way in advance. I don't like last minute. So I want to start early on these things. I have the date, I have the location, I have the time, and then I want to start like letting the businesses know, because since I'm going to be begging them for food for that event, I kind of didn't want to beg them for food for the breakfast. You know, I mean, I have a heart, you know, you can't be asking the businesses for food all the time, you know? So, so if there's any questions on the
Yes,
sample.
Madam
go ahead.
Chair, hate to be a pest, but
No, listen, this is what this meeting is all about.
yeah, but June 19th, if that's the date, that would be conflicting with the sanitation meeting. So I was wondering.
Are
okay,
you a member of the sanitation committee?
Yes, quite a few people, and I know we normally try not to conflict anything with another committee, but I was wondering If
Mhm.
the 26th is available, I don't think we have anything on the 26th.
I have to double check,
Mhm.
because don't we have all meetings, no matter what day on the Monday, I think we do. Mr. Chair, do we have meetings all Mondays, right? The only day we don't have meetings.
Oh,
Yeah, the
yes,
only day
yes,
we don't have meetings is a Friday. And we
yes, I forgot.
cannot, yeah, we cannot get the location on a Friday. That's
That, that, I,
No, yeah.
couple of
I
things.
forgot. I
I'm
forgot
sorry.
they changed the social services to the fourth Monday. Yes.
Mhm.
So the
So
26th is not
there-
available.
just a couple of comments on that. June 19th is actually Juneteenth.
Right.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I just
Right.
noticed
It's
that.
also that.
So there
Yeah.
is, so technically speaking, June 19th is a public holiday,
Holiday.
a national holiday. Right? So I don't know if there will be a committee meeting at that time, right? Because
You're right.
the staff members do have that holiday. And so for staff members to come into work is going to be on their own volition.
Mhm.
So we have to think about that as well. Okay. There are a couple dates available in June. So if that date is not available because of Juneteenth, then we can look at what other dates are available. I hear about the Friday, Chair Prasad. I did hear you say that, and obviously that makes sense. But there might be another date in the week that we don't have a meeting. I
No,
don't know
well,
which
I
one
have to
is
go,
available.
I have to go with the location. I'm getting the location free, and I have to go with the date that the location can provide.
Right.
That's a key factor. It has, unfortunately, some people, there might be a day with the committee, and it's usually, like I said, is either the last month in June, the last Monday in June, or the Monday before. I don't remember when Restaurant Week, I don't remember which week it is. So that's why I said June 19, but it might be the 26th or the 31st. I remember offhand. But we can revisit that date. Unfortunately, it may have to be on a Monday, or I'm not sure if a Wednesday is even
The
available.
fourth Tuesday is, if that's the fourth Tuesday, then it's the rezoning committee.
I didn't say anything about the Tuesday, Mr. Chair.
No, the 26th, I believe
The
26th.
26th is a Monday, sir.
Monday.
So the 19th is what day of the week?
A Monday.
Monday.
15th is a Monday. Mhm.
Oh, so the Monday is sanitation. Okay, got you. Okay, no problem. I thought we were talking about Tuesdays. No problem.
No problem. Yeah, no, the hall is not available on a Tuesday. He does his what you call it, open house on the Tuesdays. But that's what we have so far regarding plans for this year in terms of events. It's it's going to be 2 back to back, but we could handle it. We could handle that. The floor is still open. Any other comments, or is anything? Oh yeah, we need to discuss. Oh, I think I'm finished with the sumptuous. Any other comments on that? I want to discuss establishments. Did I hear any other comments or no? Are you guys still with me, or are you gone?
I'm here.
Okay. So I want to discuss.
Ms. Prasad, I had another question about
Sure.
the breakfast. This is Bree DaCosta.
Yes.
Will there be, I don't remember if I heard you say this, will there be any like commercial, real estate agents or anything like that there? Anyone who could give it, provide advice on acquiring a space for a new business, or what they would need to do to prepare for opening a new business or anything like that? Or are the people that you've already mentioned going to be able to offer that information as well to the
Yeah,
attendees?
I said earlier, the SBA is in my opinion, a better organization to talk about opening business. I don't want to put too many speakers. I'm more concentrating on city agencies in terms of, the precinct, etc. I didn't. I don't know a commercial real estate person, and I don't know. I mean, if that's something that I think the committee thinks is needed, I'm open towards to it.
Now, I'm just thinking in terms of, potentially having business owners who are interested in the area or, haven't considered the area or just anything to really make sure that the area is being, revitalized by new businesses and continuing to be, continuing to thrive with the businesses that are already here as well. But, there are closed spaces across the community board. So I don't know, anything we can do to get those back and, up and running and with some new life and all of that, that would be great to see.
Well, Bree, I would put you in charge of seeing if you can get what do you call it, a commercial real estate person, if you know of one.
I can put some feelers out.
Yeah, we can definitely invite him to the meeting,
Okay.
as a guest speaker. We're open to if that's what the committee wants, definitely, Mr. Daly, can you address this issue for me? I think we had spoke about it. I was hoping Mrs. Skinner couldn't be here today due to the holiday party. 1096 Rutland Road, I was told by the owner of the establishment, it's right outside of the Rutland train station, where guys during the summertime, they set up a tent and they sell weed, by the subway. In the wintertime, he said they put a chair up there and they sell it. I was hoping to address this with Mr. Skinner. Can you address this with the precinct for me? See what they can be done.
Okay, so I don't remember, somebody did bring it to my attention.
I did.
Oh, it was you, okay.
Yes.
If you can just shoot me a text message, I'll follow up with the commander of the precinct. Just shoot me a text message as a reminder, and I'll follow up with it for you and give back the notification to you. Let you know what the outcome is. Generally speaking, they'll go by the spot and see what's happening, and then they'll go on from there. But if you just shoot me a text message, I'll follow up.
I will, because he said it's affecting his business. The business's taste of delicious. I will shoot your email on that. I also want to bring this to your attention since you're on the call. We discussed it a couple meetings ago, and I think it's still an issue. The location, Miss Margarita, you would agree with me on this one. Lotus Lounge.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We had full discussions about this location. And Margarita, you was not at the community board meeting. I brought this up to the inspector, and I was very upset, but he shut me down and told me the establishment, not the inspector, the captain actually, who was giving the report that this location had a license. And I know for a fact
They
did
don't.
not. Exactly. So anyway, I think he according to his police officers, they said he must have misspoke. What he got confused with was that they had a 1-day permit last Labor Day weekend. Because I called the SLA. I mean, I looked it up on the SLA website, but after the guy told me bluntly in front of the whole community board that they have a license, and I was like, no, they don't. And I kind of felt really stupid because I know that they don't have a license, but I didn't want to go tat for tat with a captain. So we want to address this again, even if it means sending a letter, Mr. Chair. We will have to, we can CC you on the letter. I think we need to address it to the Borough South, 1PP Plaza, etc. So the situation is this.
No,
Lotus,
that's not my question.
I know it's not your question, but let me give you a little insight. Lotus Lounge has been operating for over 2 years, right, Miss Margarita?
Yes.
And they do not have a license. It's a big establishment.
We also think it's a strip club.
Okay. Yeah, one of the new members who's not here tonight, Miss French Kentley, told me that they actually parked in our backyard one day because there was no parking there. You know, there's a lot of issues going on there. So there's not even a pending application. I could understand if there's an establishment just open, they didn't get their liquor license yet. Bear in mind, the SLA is giving temporary license to pretty much all the, you know, applicants. There's not an application being processed. So indirectly, they're not planning on getting a license, if you get my drift. And it's been 2 years. So we need to do something.
Let me just piggyback on that, because remember the last meeting when I guess it was Detective Skinner, he said that they actually sometimes also have stuff going on in the auto body shop next door. That's I think it's related to Lotus Lounge, but there's all kinds of illegal stuff going on in that section of the in that section. So those two buildings are basically where it's all happening. And
So-
I
All right,
actually,
so
oh, wait, let me just finish. I actually I have a contact at the SLA, and so I've been. He said that the police are supposed, because the police, Skinner told us that they couldn't do anything about it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because whatever, because the SLA doesn't deal with unlicensed establishments.
Right.
But my contact at the SLA said that they have to do a nuisance abatement with the police. So the police are supposed to contact them
Right.
and the other agencies. So obviously, the 67th has not done that, and they're not doing it for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to go above them at this point. If we want to, that's what we need to do.
This is why I suggest we need to put a letter together, send it to Brooklyn South, 67 Brooklyn South. I mean, that's the only time you get results. And one PP Plaza, you have to do these, you know, chain of command letters. Because then that's when people go crazy and start doing stuff. Because I had spoke to the inspector about this about 1.5 years ago, and he said to me, oh, you know, I'm going to try to get the building department to come in there, because I have actually physically went into the place because I thought they had a license. And I walked in there and I looked around, and the owner wasn't there. And there's a door, so there's a body shop, and they had a huge bar because apparently they had an event there. The part where the body shop is operating is huge. They had a huge bar over there, and then there's a smaller room, and there's a door in between the two locations. And apparently they had events there where they open the door and have it in the both space. So I've physically seen what the place looked like. Mm-hmm. Your comment, Mr. Chair.
no, I just wanted something more outlined in terms of what am I addressing? Am I addressing that you need for them to have a liquor license, or am I addressing that they don't need? I mean, what is it that I'm addressing?
Well, I can tell you from the neighborhood, because I live right up the block. The neighborhood wants them out of there because they are disruptive. They're like June said, they park all over the place. They close down the they're doing all this illegal stuff. Plus, they're operating illegally. Their music is very, very loud. It rattles my windows, and I know everybody in the neighborhood is complaining about it. So there's a lot of things going on, but the main thing is that they're operating illegally. So I mean, but I'm not going to say I would encourage them to get a liquor license. We just need the SLA or the police or whoever has to enforce it, that they have to be closed down. And whatever happens after that, you know, if they want to get a liquor license, if they can still get a liquor license, then, you know, we'll deal with it. But right now they need to be closed down. So whatever wording we need to do to get that done. Because there was a shooting on the other block. You know, it's just going to be a matter of time. They have these ATV vehicles that come out of there. They drive up and down our block, all hours of the night. There's all kinds of stuff going on there. So it's just, you know, it's a powder keg. I don't know what else to say.
All right, not a problem. So once I get something in writing, about this, not something in writing that specifically outlines what it is that needs done, I will have a conversation with the with the inspector.
Well, Mr. Chair, respectfully, I think we've passed the conversation right now.
Well, it's not,
Ms.
I'm saying
Vigilante.
when I say a conversation, I mean an action, right? So once I have an outline of what it is that I'm addressing, I know what I'm.
You're addressing the fact that they're operating an establishment illegally, and a nuisance abatement needs to be done between the police, the SLA, and whatever other agencies. So that's all you need to say to the inspector. But I think at this point, he knows what's going on, and
He's well aware. He's well aware of the situation.
So
I am-
you can address him, but I don't know that we're going to get anywhere.
That's why I'm suggesting, Miss Margarita,
Yeah.
that we need to do it. We need to do a right thing. Respectfully, Mr. Chair, it's past your area, because we have had, even I think Hassan had probably, because Skinner said that they have discussed this in the previous commerce. It's been an ongoing problem. It's been 2 years. The only thing that these people understand is black and white, and going up the chain of command. That's when you get results. You're not going to get any results. Nobody's doing anything. I mean, if we have to do it on behalf of the Commerce Committee, I'm willing to do that, because I'm totally into putting things in black and white.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Unfinished business, I think we addressed a lot of that. If there's any other comments or suggestion, or anything else anyone would like to discuss?
No, but this is just one little correction in the minutes. I know we're not going over the minute, but when it is discussing the 500 feet with the applicant Sean, it says bamboo walk. That's supposed to be bamboo walk, WALK. Because when I look bamboo walk, it look like a Chinese restaurant.
Carol, are you getting that? Mm-hmm. Is that the only thing you observed, George? Did it say D Garden, or does it say D Carib? Because I think I had mentioned D Garden by mistake. The minutes, did it say D Garden, or did it say D Carib?
No, it says bamboo walk, and it says where it says garden, it says inaudible or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so we don't know which garden. I think it might be the D garden across.
No, it's D Carib. I made a mistake when I said I said D Garden by mistake. I remember vaguely, and I was like, D Garden is around the corner, but it's D Carib. Mm-hmm.
D Carib garden, and then the other one is bamboo walk.
Right.
WALK.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. If there's no other comments or no other issue, I want to once again wish you guys and your family a happy holiday. All the best for the new year. And may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? I think it was a very nice meeting.
I move to adjourn the meeting at 8:41 p.m.
I second the motion.
Okay. Thank you all, and I'll see you next month. Have a pleasant one.
Okay.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Good
Happy-
greetings to all.
Happy New Year, all the best.
Happy
all.
holidays.
The very best to you guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Carol,
Yes.
we here.
Yeah. Okay. Out of the 4 people you said to contact, I got the SBA, the 6-7 precinct, the Department of Health. What was the 4th one?
Department of Buildings.
Okay, I did get it right.
Yeah,
I
no
just
problem.
wanted to make sure.
That's fine. So we can start, I don't know, there might be an old version of the, there might be an old version of the, what do you call that thing?
The flyer and the letter
Flyer?
in the
Yes.
office.
Right, so we can, start looking at those. If I need to tweak it a little bit, I can.
Good.
Also,
Or if you can get a chance to go into the office, just look in the old files.
oh,
You'll find the flyer and the
Re-
letter.
respectfully, that place is a mess.
I know.
I know. Okay, if I go there next. But I'm talking about a digital one. You don't want to have a paper copy one, you know what I'm saying? Because then you have to do it over. Don't they have it on file or anything? No, I don't know.
That would probably be in Nadine's computer. But see, once it's sent to me, I can make it digital.
You can make it digital. Okay, so
Yes.
if I
All
do
I
go
would
in
need-
there, or
Yeah,
you can ask Sharif to send it to you, no? But
Yeah,
she's so
that's
busy.
not a problem.
Yeah, if I go, it's gonna have to be after the holiday because I may head out to town to visit my mom next month. But I just want us to start work until you have the date, we have the time and things like that. And because we have to get these letters out, because I know they're standard letters. I don't know who these community people are in terms of Department of Building, DO8. You guys have access to that, who the community people are. We sending letters because we need them to acknowledge they will be coming, at that time.
All I would need is the email from them to send them the letter and the flyer.
I don't have that. I think
No, that's what I'm saying. That's all I would need. I just need an email.
Right, but what I'm saying, we have to send them a letter inviting them to be a guest speaker.
Right.
It's a general letter, but I'm thinking Miss Fraser or whoever, I know Nadine used to have, or Miss Fraser has the contact, the person who's the community person for these different agencies. If you get
Right.
well, the 67 we know because it's going to be the commanding officer.
Right.
The Department of Building, you would have to check with her on that. But you could just start drafting up the letters so that we could have them ready. So beginning of the year, we're not sending them out before the year. The beginning of the year or by the next January meeting, I should have the date confirmed, and then we'll send. Just add the date to the letter, and we'll send them off. Hopefully, we'll get an answer by the next month. So we'll be on target for. Got me? Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what you think? I think it wasn't a bad meeting. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I said what you think. I don't think it was a bad meeting.
No, they only have 5 people.
I know. Hey, listen. Hey, what can I do, child? I mean, I'm trying here. That's what she's talking about fundraising. Now, why I want to tackle fundraiser for? Look, I have my hands full already.
See what you said about that? You want to do a fundraiser to raise money, but where are you going to get the funds to?
People don't even want to come to meeting. You think they're going to want to be giving money up?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing enough. They got me doing the 501c3 too. I can't. It's just too much.
For them, like you said, for them to do a fundraiser, they would need money to purchase stuff.
Thank you.
for the
Exactly.
fundraiser. You
I can't
know?
do that. I am not tackling that. No way.
And then how are you going to account for the funds?
Then they're gonna accuse me of stealing the money. I ain't got time for that.
Yep.
I got enough on my plate. I'm not taking on another responsibility. And here I said to her, would you like to be in charge of it? You see how quick she backing out, right? Carol, have a good night, child. I've been on the
too,
call for
sweetie.
the past 4 months. Thank you so much for everything.
All right.
okay?
And have a great holiday and enjoy.
You too. Don't eat too much and put on too much weight.
I wish.
I know. I haven't seen you so long, girl. When you coming back to work?
I don't know.
Are you ever coming back?
I'll leave a question mark on that.
Okay. All right. Listen,
Between me and you, I'll just leave a question.
All right. No problem, sweetie. All right. Enjoy. Have a good night.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good one.
You
Good night.
too.